Kim, du musst, glaube ich, dein Mikrofon ausschalten.
Okay. Well,
Sorry, ich bin am Tee trinken, ich hoffe es nützt dem.
oh, sounds like somebody is sick, so I apologize.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I hope I will not interrupt too much.
That's okay. If you want to put yourself on mute, that's fine. I did have that. I got that on the recording, so every time you listen to it, you'll hear yourself coughing in the front. So again, thank you everybody for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys spending the time so we can go do some training. What I'll do today is we can do a brief overview of our tool, but of the unique tools that we have on survey analytics. But I also noticed that you guys do have a lot of surveys, especially in Andreas's account, in that you guys are logging in either into his or your own, and he has shared his folder for you to access. I wanted to see if you guys can give me a little bit more information on how you guys are sharing your surveys right now. I was just curious because I've just noticed that you've got 99 surveys, or about 99, in your account, Andreas, and then I see that like Denise and stuff, they have access to review those surveys in their account or log into your account. Can you give me a little bit of background on that?
Maybe Denise can give a bit more background on that. I think we are not yet very organized, so everybody does what he wants, basically.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I did notice that you do have some multiple login warnings, and I'm sure you get those emails that, someone's logging in your account. And I believe that a lot of that is stemming from people, instead of using their account to log in and make edits and whatever, that they're logging in using your username and password. So that's why I just wanted to get a little bit of background just to see what's happening here, just to make sure that, obviously we don't want to have multiple logins and stuff like that. So I guess if when Denise gets on board, or maybe I can shoot her a separate email and ask her some more information. Maybe, do you guys have any particular items on the list do you guys would like for me to go over? Anything about survey analytics you want to see, so I'll make sure I can add that to the overview training.
No, from my point of view, I would be just interested in new functions you have maybe implemented, and I think the standard ones we don't need to know.
Okay, great. So let's just start.
I maybe have just one little thing that I want to mention, which has nothing to do with the training, but I realized that there is now an advertisement and on the last screen when you make a survey. And we looked at that and said that we didn't want to have an advertisement on the last screen. Can you remove that? Or I'm not sure if that has happened already.
I think it has happened already. Esther,
okay, I'm sorry. So I haven't been logged in since. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I believe I had this conversation with Andreas and has been taken care of. So,
great.
So yeah, it should not be there. So I did see someone else did log in. So it looks like everyone's on board. So thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna just go and log into my account here on Survey Analytics, and I'm just going to show you some of the new tools that we have that's exclusively on Survey Analytics, and what you can use them for possibly. So let me go ahead and just open up some of the examples that I have here.
Esther, do you mind speaking a bit more loud?
Sure. Can you guys hear me now? Is this better?
Oh, great now.
Okay.
Oh, this is better, yes.
Okay. I just needed to turn up my mic. So is that better?
Yes, much
better.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with our new tool. Well, it's not really new, but the new thing that you'll see on Survey Analytics, which is the add-on modules. I have here an example of a max diff question and conjoint analysis. And If you are not familiar with conjoint analysis or MaxDiff, this is a great way to get started. We have plenty of help files, and we can help you, show you how you can add it to your research strategy. The things that are mainly different on Survey Analytics is everything under your add-on module. So all of the standard question types, advanced question types, and the library is all the same that you've ever seen in Question Pro. So we're going to look at each of these different things, and then also log out and show you an example of some image, multimedia, and that kind of stuff. But what I'm going to show you
Does this mean that the conjoint is now available, so we can use this?
Yes, it is now available.
For our account. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and have you done conjoint studies before?
I did, and it's very useful for us. But it was never available until now in this tool. So.
And so what I'll do is,
yeah,
it is really good news. So we also have MaxDiff as well. So that's another trade-off analysis question type. So I'm just going to show you an example of one I've put together here. This is basically a MaxDiff question about a Seattle tour. If you guys ever want to come visit us in Seattle, Washington, these are some of the popular sites and tours that we have. And what we've done is just clicked on the MaxDiff tool, which is Max Differential, and I'll just show you what the template looks like. And it's very simple, and basically what this does, it forces your respondent to choose the item that they like the most and what items that they like the least. I would say that it's probably a lot better than a rating scale. If you guys are using a lot of different rating scales, this actually will allow you to look at different calculations. So if you have something where you get a 68%, or excuse me, like a 75% versus a 50% on a certain attribute, you can actually exactly pinpoint, say, 25% of these respondents, there's a difference between that, and these are evenly calculated. We use a logic regression analysis to have this calculated for you. It's a lot harder to point out that there's a significant difference between attributes when you are using a rating scale. It's hard to say, these people at 4.5 versus 3.5. It's really hard to do that. So we recommend, using conjoint, or excuse me, MaxDiff to really be able to look at the differences between the attributes. So we have our question type here, and then I have the attributes. The next thing after you do that is to review the settings. And in this case, you can validate it, randomize like you've seen before, and then the next piece is the attribute settings, which is whether or not you want to show all 5 of the items, or if you want to customize it and only show maybe 3 or 2 or 4 of the items at one time. So it's really up to you, so you can make the list large or small as you like. And then here is our discrete choice conjoint analysis tool. We only do discrete choice. So just to show you, it doesn't look like much here, but this is the intro. And I'll show you how we had set this up in the settings. So again, all you need to do is add your header instructions, select the features that you would like, and then of course hit the add all the different levels here. So that would, for the hours, I put 1 to 2 hours, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, and then morning, noon, and afternoon, etc. And then the different tour types that we have. Below that, with conjoint analysis, you can now select the task count, which is the number of pages that they'll run through, and you'll see that in the example that I do. And then the concepts per task is the number of profiles that they'll see. Usually in conjoint analysis, if you ever worked with it before, usually, keeping it at around 5 or 6 features is pretty standard, and keeping the levels low at around 5 or 6 at the max would be good. I wouldn't do more than 5. I would only do 5 probably. And in the task counts and concepts per task depends on the type of or the number of sample that you have, and also how homogeneous your sample is. And the data that you'll get will be, statistically significant depending on how many times you'll run a certain data. So a lot of times people like to do, up to 10 tasks. Some people can do up to 15. We have you can do up to 39 if you want, but you better have a good incentive to keep that going. So I'm just going to keep it at 3 right now just to show you, and then just click on Save Question. And so right now I'm just going to show you a preview, and then I'm going to go into the reporting and analysis side and show you that side of it and how interesting it can be for your studies. So for this one, I'm just going to select a couple things. And then, so that's just the max diff. And now we're going through the different pages. So it'll show you, step 1 of 2, step 2 of 2, and then the respondent can choose which one they would prefer. So I don't know if I'd want to do a 4 to 6 hour wine tour, or maybe I might, I don't know. And then that's how simple it is. So let's go ahead and go to the analytics. The reports tab is the same as what you've seen in the past. So all these reporting tools with the real-time summary, crosstabs, data segmentation, trend analysis, turf, all that stuff, nothing has changed there. You still have access to all of those tools. The things that are very interesting here is the 3 tools that are following after that. Right for conjoin and maxdiff, I'm just going to jump to analytics for right now, and then I'll go over integration after we go through a different question type. So let's go ahead and look at the maxdiff first. And so we automatically will calculate out your share of preference and show you a preference analysis. So what that means in your studies is that, this is a unique way, instead of looking at a rating scale, you can really see, what people, prefer the most over here, and then what they prefer the least over here. And what we've done with these percentages is that we've calculated it all together. These percentages will equal up to 100%. So if you want to write something and say, there's 5% difference between, the water taxi and doing a Fremont troll tour, you can. And then you can also say the same between all the different attributes. But basically you can say, in this case here that, the Space Needle, having some tour with the Space Needle included is very popular and probably will sell. And then also a tour, with the Mount Rainier is very popular. So it's a lot of things that you can take from this. So do you guys have any questions about a maxdiff, or have you guys ever done anything like this before?
Yeah, it's a great function. We have done before analysis like that for pricing to find out the right prices. So for us it's very useful.
And if you want to run more than one maxdiff question in a survey, that's totally fine. So it'll break down each of the share preference for each question type if you need to. So if they're completely separate. So if you want to do a most and least or a maxdiff question about pricing, and then something about the different attributes of a service or product, you can just keep going on, and then you'll have a bunch of different things. So you're not limited to just one maxdiff question per survey. You can do multiples, no problem. So that's a good thing to know. The second thing is I'm going to show you our conjoint here. And here we also use a logic regression analysis to go ahead and calculate everything out. And you can see that, with the 3 types of attributes, the tour type actually makes the biggest difference, although the time of day is very close to it. So below here you'll see that we have calculated out the relative importance, we calculate out the average utility, and then we also look at, based off of the utility value, usually the higher the utility value, the more it's the most preferred, and then the lowest utility is the least preferred. So we automatically build those profiles for you, and so you can review that. So that's just one of the things here. The second thing you can do on top of this is run a segmentation tool. So I set one up, and this is a simulator tool. So you can go in and review the hours. You can select time of day, and then you can select tour type. So I've kept hours, time of day, tour type is different. Oh, it looks like there's a lot of feedback. Would it be possible for anyone to go ahead and mute yourself? Maybe that might help. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and mute Kim, and I'm going to mute Thomas for right now, just to try to cut down on some of the stuff. Okay, and it looks like the feedback is coming from someone from a phone. Is it possible for anyone to put on mute? Hello? Okay. Alright, I think that's a little bit better. I don't know. No.
Esther, can you hear me?
Yes, but there's an echo. Do you hear that?
Okay. Ja, I can hear it. So, hebben jullie al het microfoon afgeschalten?
I'm not on speaker, no.
Gaat afgeschalten, ja.
Okay, let's try that. Oh, okay, this is a lot better. So
Yeah, no, it's okay again.
okay, yeah, that's better. So sometimes when you do training, sometimes these things do happen. So I usually try to, modify, but this is so much better. Kim or Thomas, I put you on mute. If you have any questions, just tell me, just use the chat box and let me know if you have questions. You can just type it in there and then I'll unmute you so you can talk to me. So let's go ahead and continue here. Again, this is the simulator. I'm just building 2 profiles. And all you need to do, and these are just the levels from conjoint that you have already in your survey that you've put together. All you have to do is click on Save Profile, Run Simulation, and you'll be able to review what the market share, vote count, and utility would mean here. So based off of the answers or the people that have taken your survey so far, you can see that about 61% will prefer profile number 1, which is a chocolate tour in the afternoon, versus profile 2, which is a wine tour. So, I'm not sure what the tour company would do, but maybe they would probably invest more into a chocolate tour versus doing a wine tour at that hour. So you can keep moving and changing these around. You can do up to 10 profiles at one time, and it's a really, really fun tool. A lot of people really enjoy this. So I definitely suggest, if you are interested in implementing conjoint back into your market research strategy, to spend some time, and of course, as your account manager, I can help you as you set up your first study and walk you through all the different steps. And if you need someone to help you with analysis and also write a report based off of your conjoint findings, we don't do that here, but we do have people that are consultants for our company that are very familiar with our tool, and they can help you establish some basic rules and train you how to write analysis and reports based off of conjoint data. So that is one of the major things. Does anyone have any questions about the conjoint before we continue on to the other tools we have?
Not from my side, thank you. That's
Okay.
good.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to log out of this right now. I'm going to log into a different account here, and I'll show you some of the other tools that we have that are unique that you guys can start using as well. And do you guys use a lot of pictures in your surveys yet?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Some other tools that I wanted to show you guys. This is just a survey with all the question types you've ever seen. So we're talking about, every question you've already seen in Question Pro plus everything in Survey Analytics. So let's go ahead and just kind of keep going down here. So these are all the advanced question types. And then here's some add-on.
Esther.
Yes.
Esther, I have one question. Can we go back?
Sure.
A little bit more.
To what item?
It was where you have several rows with buttons.
Okay, I'm just going to keep scrolling up. Do you see this? Is it this?
Yeah, this one. For example, if you do a question like that, we often have formatting problems in Windows Explorer. It works fine with Firefox and Safari, but we often have problems with this in the Windows environment. Maybe we can just send you a screenshot of such a question and how it looks like in our environment, and then you can maybe forward this to your support department or something like that.
Sure, absolutely. Yes, our development department will be responsible for making changes to this particular tool. Can you tell me what version of Internet Explorer you're using?
Yes, we are using Internet Explorer 7.
Okay. Yeah, Internet Explorer 7 is the one that we're having issues with. So, but if you can take a screenshot, I can try to show them, because I know that I've been able to test, certain things shows up in Internet Explorer 6 and version 8, but version 7 sometimes doesn't show up as nicely. But if you can send me a copy of that, that would be great, and I can show them that we need to make some changes, because there's some other things, formatting issues with IE7 that we've been having some issues with, so hopefully we can make some changes if we have more people using that. Do you guys have access to the other internet browser types, or is it just Internet Explorer you guys use the most?
Yeah, let's say if we do a lot of our surveys with internal friendly users, and they of course have all the same environment, and it is always Explorer 7.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and send me a copy, and I'd be happy to review that with them and see if we can make any changes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, no problem. So let's go ahead and move further down. So again, all these questions, you've already seen this. So these are Again, these are the conjoint and maxdiff tools that we have that I just previewed for you. So after we do that, I'm going to show you the, here's an image, example of an image and multimedia question type that you can include, just to show you the background or template of that. Instead of having to copy and paste HTML, you can add a question type, and then based off of the pictures that you've uploaded, you can just pick one and then keep moving. So instead of copying and pasting HTML over, you can just pick your item and add it in. And then we can do, and I'll show you a preview of what that looks like here to the respondent. So this is now all available for you guys as well. So again, they can pick which one they would like. And then we do have a code if you need to make changes to resize your survey. I have a code, it's an HTML code that you put around the brackets that you can change it. We don't actually have a tool that will change the size, as you already know, but if you want to add a code and make a change and make it smaller or larger, you can just add it inside and it'll update. So here's an example. Based on the pictures presented, which camera do you prefer the most? And I'm just going to pick one. And then they'll just go ahead and click on continue. And here's another example of a multiple choice select many. Which question or which cameras do they think best suits their lifestyle? You can just pick a couple. And then of course here's an image ranker question. We're working on having it where you can move these around, but right now you can just put 1, 2, 3, 4, just like the standard image question that you're used to. And then below here is an additional tool. It's the flex matrix. So I know you guys are using the side-by-side matrix, but now you can also do a flex matrix. So you can add a rating scale, drop down boxes, also add on some comment boxes and make this all one question if you like. And you can do more than that too if you want. So I can just open up the template and I will show you. This is just an example, but it's really easy to do. And I could definitely see you guys using this quite a bit. So you just add your instructions here, add the different attributes that you want to ask about, and then we have the rating scales with the level of difficulty, and then of course the drop down menu, and we also have a comment box. And if you want to add some more, these are the different things that we also have. So if you want to do attribute choice, numeric text input, or interactive slide where you want them to slide an answer back and forth, you can go ahead and click on where you want that. So instead of putting numbers down, you can just have them pick, one side is 1, one side is 10, and they can pick anywhere on a line. So you can include that in your new question type. So it's very interesting stuff. And then of course below that we have just the data numeric tool, and that's probably one of the last tools that you'll see. So that was here with the smart validator. And basically that makes it to where, if you're asking questions either about salary or anything like that, or you can change the settings and also select a different kind of numeric value, you can go ahead and change that instead. So instead of doing salary, you can pick something else. So you can do percentages instead. So it'll force people to put in, and then you don't have to go in and make some changes and also do edit too much. So that's just some of the things you now have. in terms of the question types. Does anyone have any questions about what you've seen so far?
No, it's fine. Thanks.
Yes. Does anyone have any questions about what you've seen so far? Okay, so Thomas has no questions. And some other things that we have coming down the pipeline, you'll see we have the tube pulse or dial testing. We're going to call it video rating, where people can stop a certain part of a video and go ahead and rate while they're doing it. It's not completely fixed or finished yet. The next part is if you are looking to recruit your own panel with the panel management tool, you can add a panel question. And then the last thing we're going to have in here is where you can add, like if you've heard of our Idea Scale product, we'll also have that as a question type you can add into any of your surveys. So some of the other new things we're going to have coming down the pipeline in the future. And just to show you a quick preview of what the video actually might look like, I've got a copy here, but it's not complete yet. But if you guys are ever interested in doing a video rating, basically they'll just have a rating and they can just run a quick, I'll just turn this down, should be able to run it right in here. So you can input YouTube videos and all sorts of different things. Maybe my thing's running a little slow, but it's pretty neat what you can see. And then it's really easy to add. You just go in, open up the edit, add the YouTube code, and then you can review it as a respondent. So those are just some of the new things that you're going to see come 2011. So
just a question regarding this video.
Yes.
You have to upload the videos to YouTube, or can you integrate the video directly?
I mean, you can do it that way by using the image as a multimedia tool. So the multimedia tool is not just pictures only. You can do audio and video as long as it's no larger than 1 megabyte. However, if you prefer, because a lot of companies are using YouTube to promote themselves virally and also for advertising reasons and all sorts of different things, that we just make it easier to integrate. So we have that. So you can do both. And most
okay. How does it look like, the code?
The code, let's go ahead and I'll show you what that looks like. So let me go ahead and click on edit. So this is the YouTube code that you can take off of the end of a video, and all you have to do is add that inside. And then yeah, so you'll see that anytime, on the URL they'll have something and then an equal sign and then a code. All you have to do is copy and paste that code, add it in, and then after that, the data collection, you can do a key point and ask. We don't have that in yet, and this is just a moment by moment dialer, so they can go in and control certain parts of the video, stop it where they want, give a comment. It's pretty neat stuff. And if you guys have ever heard of dial testing or advertising testing, this is a really popular tool. But it's not out yet completely, but it's something to look forward to. So I just wanted to show you that because I'm really, really excited about it. I think it's super flashy and fun. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the other tools that we have. Let's see, under reports, actually one thing I do want to show you under reports is the fact that you can do FTP reports. How are you guys getting your reports right now? Are you going in and manually processing your reports, or are you getting emailed weekly? How is that working out for you guys? Does anyone know?
I normally import it as Excel or SPSS.
Okay, so
and then do first and second at the beginning. And then I can analyze it.
Okay, so you guys aren't doing it manually. Okay. Okay. So what you can do instead of cranking it out manually, you can go in under data management, under reports, and set up a auto schedule report. So instead of having to wait for the report, we can have it sent to you. So you can give it a name. You can specify how you would like your report. So if you want an Excel, PowerPoint, CSV, HTML, other, whatever you want. And then the frequency can be either daily or weekly. And then you can choose the day that you want it. So you don't have to have it Monday, you can have any other day. The time, you can only have it at 3 a.m. Pacific time, so I'm not really sure. That would probably be midday for you guys. So you can't change that, but you can change other things. Other things you can also do is, so if you want, you can add some additional filters. You can specify how you want your report. So if you want to look at a monthly report, the last 3 months, and then if you want to do an FTP upload or just do an email report, you can. And Andreas, if you want to set these up and set it up for different people, you and your team, you can actually set up reports for more than one person. So it doesn't have to, it's not necessarily more than one person, but you have to go in and do it one at a time. So they don't have to be just you. You can pick someone who is administrator and looking at your accounts globally. So they don't have to log into your account and manually print something out or wait for it to happen. So this is just one of the things that we've got that I recommend, spending some time and setting that up so you don't have to worry about logging in anymore. We do have an integration tool, or integration tabs that are very interesting. This web intercept or web pop-up we have those in Question Pro right now, so I'm going to skip that. But that's where we have this particular tool. Do you guys do any Google Analytics or Omniture? Are you guys using any kind of web analytics tool right now?
No, we don't.
Okay. If you guys ever decide to do any Google Analytics or use Omniture, basically doing web analytics allows you to track how people are taking your survey. It's really good to use. I would recommend it if you are going to do a video study to kind of see how people are moving around, how long they're taking to take a particular question in a survey, whether or not they're switching answers, that kind of stuff. Web analytics gives you a lot of insight to the behavior to which they're taking your survey. So once you have a Google Analytics account or Omniture, they do the same thing. You can pick one or the other. All you have to do is put your username and password, and then all you have to do is select the different questions in your survey, or what are the custom variables, or their survey ID or response ID, how they're doing, so you can review how they're answering each of the questions in your survey. So a very cool tool. I would definitely recommend if you guys are possibly thinking about adding a tool like that in the future. This is a great thing to use as you go along. We do also have an import data option in Survey Analytics. This is only good for when you program a survey on its own, but then you're fielding it outside and then you want to upload. So if you have any existing data and you try to use this tool to upload some old data, it's not going to work. So what you need to do is have no data in your reports at all, and then you can upload some data to compare it to the survey question that you have. And we have an example of what it needs to do in order to format the questions. Keep in mind that not all of the question types are available for upload, so you have to look at the sample and see what that is, and then you can continue to use the analytic tools that we have to look at the stuff. Are you guys ever using like a translation service, or are you guys translating your surveys in different languages?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We do. We translate it quite often.
Oh, okay. And what are the?
But we usually make one survey then, per language, and we use this chain function where the user first selects the language and then he goes into a specific survey.
And you guys
I have seen.
self-translate?
Sorry?
Do you guys self-translate?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so if in the future you guys want to translate into a new language and you don't want to translate it on your own, we do have a service that will translate it for you. So if you want to pick like, some obscure language, like Turkish or something, you can add a language and get a quote in terms of how much that's going to cost. And we work with a company in Washington, D.C. called Language Intelligence. And all you have to do is you just click import, and it'll import all your questions in the survey, and they will translate it for you and then import it back into your survey to start sending out. So it's really up to you, and they specialize in localization of languages and everything as well. So not that you might need it. You can still keep using the edit survey and changing the languages manually like you've done before. So that's still available. You can still do it this way if you want. So that's no problem. So if you want to go ahead and add it in here like this, like you've done before, and then manually change different languages, you can. The second part of this that we're going to do in the future, we're going to be adding on a tool which will manually translate. I believe we're going to add it pretty soon, so you can go in and have your answers translated back into the language you want to analyze the survey in. So instead of just translating the surveys, we'll also translate the reports. So that's something new we're going to have in 2011. So something I would be pretty excited for as well. We also can do some nested quota control. And for complex or nested quota control, basically what that gives you is an option to go ahead and review, based out of the total completed responses that you need. You can go into each question and specify the number of people that need to answer a survey in a certain way. So if you were to go into the all question types, and then I'll go back into integration. And then you can select the different questions that would qualify, and then you can just keep moving on, like the total number, and then add the percentages to equal up to 100. So this can be very complex, and it's something that whether or not you would use it, it's really up to you. And then also in the future, if you're looking into some integration options, we do XML data export. So if you are interested, because right now looks like you guys are just looking at things in Excel. Do you guys have a database that you guys are tracking respondents in right now on your end?
No.
Yes, I think it's important, yeah, to track it.
So yeah, we do have we don't have we do have a panel that's an optional. It's not completely ready yet, but we're planning to roll it out in a couple weeks. But if you guys have your own database or your own panel of respondents that you would like to track, we also have, instead of just doing FTP uploads or Excel downloads, you can also do your data exported in XML. So again, you can go ahead and put the dates and times, add a respondent filter, and then download your XML export as you would like. So that's just one of the things that we've got. So again, we have this in Question Pro, but we do have the banner and pivot tables available once again. And then if you want to do weighting and balancing of the questions in your survey, that's also another way that you can set up quotas or percentages based off of multiple choice questions again. So instead of using nested quota control, you can use weighting and balancing. That's another option. And then we also have a lot of text analysis tools that you can now use. So skipping, the conjoint, we can jump down here. And these are just some of the fun things that I really like getting into. So the first one I have is text analysis categorization. And what this allows you to do is to go into your survey and look at the open-ended text. This is just one of the, comment boxes. What 2 items do you purchase the most with your credit card? And I just put test 1, test 2 as the different categories, and I can always add another category if I want. And then you can go ahead and start tagging your information just by clicking on this link here. And this will open up, all the different responses or tag responses here. This will open up a chart so you can manually see, how the open-ended comments are. And you can, control how this is being tagged. A lot of times when you do analysis of open-ended text, the administrator, survey administrator, does need to put parameters around it. So adding some sort of categorization, the different, buckets to which people, are a part of is really important. So you can, start visualizing, what responses go where. So we can go in and look at how you can tag responses. It's really easy to do. It's not a manual thing, so you have to do it. Actually, it is not automatic. It is a manual thing, so you have to go in and select, which one you would like. So you can go ahead and change. So it's literally just a click of a button here. So I'm just going to click a couple more just for fun. And then you can go back and view your chart again. And there should have some responses. I think you did see some of them had some responses in there. I asked my coworkers to add some info and they just skipped over it. But here we have some of the tags, so I've added that tag in, so now we have this available. The next text analysis tool we have is tag clouds. And basically it looks at the single words that you use in a comment box, and we automatically put this together in some sort of a tag. So this is just a couple examples. Again, what 2 items do you purchase the most with your credit card? And we're looking at, these are just some of the words that we have. And the more answers you have, the more fancy it'll look. So you have these questions. You can share these. This is the link you can copy and paste and show people. You can post it on Facebook or Twitter. You can also go in and download a copy here in a PowerPoint. And then we also have an action to which you can stop particular words from showing up. So if you don't want the word gas to show up, then you can get rid of it. Or you can add a different word and it will prevent things from showing up. And then you can update the stop words and then include that, or take out the certain words that you don't want. So these are really good. And then the next part of the tag cloud is that we're going to be able to do segmentation based off of tag clouding. So if you've used our segmentation tool, tag cloud's going to be available with that, so you can compare how different segments answer against each other. How do men answer this question versus women, that kind of stuff. So we're really looking forward to having that be a part of this tool as well. And the last part we have is just the discover text below here. And basically you can add, you can go ahead and go in and specify what dates you would like to see your tool or see your info, and then you can export the particular segments of the tool and review in an XML report. So you can open it up and review. So that's just some of the new things that we've got. I would definitely recommend start using tag clouds right away. You're going to be really excited for those. And so that's just one of the last things. The panel I just wanted to show you, these are just the initial. There's not really much going on in here yet, but we are planning our major rollout before the end of the year is to have a panel ready to go. And basically you can build your own respondent panel, And these are just people that have agreed to participate in studies, and you can contact them occasionally here and there, versus just using like an outside database. This essentially becomes a database within Survey Analytics. It's a different product price, but it is going to be available, and it's fully integrated with every single portion. So if you have emails from within inside here, you can just pull what that is and then have it loaded into your email invitations and send it out. So it's really, really easy to do that. And if anybody is, you can track, how, number of times someone's taking a survey for you, which surveys they've taken for you, that kind of stuff. So that's going to come up pretty shortly. So I'm very excited to have that available. And I know by the end of the year, that's definitely for sure. The other stuff we have is 2011. So do you guys have any questions that I can answer about everything that I've shown you so far?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah, so what I would suggest is to, go ahead and use Survey Analytics. Try to use some of the new online add-on module questions that we have. And what we can do is we can also do some custom training. So, and I'm not going to just do it just about the add-on modules, but we can talk about any of the advanced question types you've had, questions about complex logic and that kind of stuff. I'll be more than happy to help you with that as well. So so if you've ever had issues in the past, we can work on those, and also run training on best practices, how to do certain things. We can help you with that.
Yeah, the iPad thingy, it's working as well now.
Yes, it is. So have you downloaded or do you have an iPad you're trying to work on?
Yes, and I think this could be quite cool. Let's say if you do some street work, then we can take the iPad with us and ask people directly on the street.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. So I'll show you an example of one this is just it's not really a survey. We actually used, there's nothing in there, never mind. This is an iPad demo, basically, but setting up a demo is very easy to do. So you just put up your questions. So these are just some of the questions we had. And then the settings, under display options, you just want to make sure to shrink the settings. So the default, the survey width we have is at 320, but you can actually have it up to like 500 and it'll still fit the screen. So that's the only main difference between the regular survey and then setting this up. So that'll be different. So I have that. And then after you set the survey width to a smaller size than what it is right now, you can do a quick preview and take your survey. Do you guys have the link to download the app yet? So do you guys have that?
No.
Oh, okay. So what I can do with you,
No.
Andreas, I can send you the link, and then you guys can download it. So basically this would just fit the screen, and people can just click on it using their finger and go ahead and answer those questions. And if there's anything that requires them to manually add, then you can click on here and then a keyboard will show up and then they can type in. So it's really easy to use.
Okay. So you have to download an app to the iPad.
Yes. And then the next thing after you do the iPad is that you want to establish a keyword, which is you have to specify a change. So and I'll send you the help file as well, but what you need to do is you need to customize the URL, and the keyword is whatever you put in here. So in order for me to open up the iPad survey, I have to type in iPad demo in order to pull this up. So that's the other portion. And then the finish options, what you can do is you can have it reroute back into the same survey. So once they take the survey and then submit it, it'll go back to the very beginning of the survey and start it over again. So that's what you can do with the address.
Okay.
So so what I can do
Okay,
after
that's
this,
cool.
yeah, that's very neat. And then so we also have we've also got another survey tool on field tool that we're planning to implement in the future. It's going to have a different name completely, so I'm sure you'll get an email about it from our big boss Vivek on that. But the iPad is the application is also good on the iPhone or iTouch. If you want to use an iPod Touch or something else, that will be fine too. So you can test on both. Any other questions?
Not from my side.
Okay, that's no problem. If you guys come up with other questions after our presentation or training today, feel free to let me know. And what I'll do is I'll make sure to follow up with you in an email. And Andreas, if you would like to, schedule another training next month, I'll customize, some, best practices, how to, and that kind of stuff. That would be great. Denise, I wanted to follow up, how you guys are um, what is the word? How are you guys accessing the data right now? Because it looks like when I logged into your account, it looks like majority of the surveys are in Andreas's account, and you're logging in, clicking on global surveys to review and download survey data. Is that correct? Is that the same for everybody?
At the moment, we have different user accounts. His own hand. So we can log in, and we just find access to all the service for everybody. So at the moment, the database is identical for everybody.
Okay. All right.
So
And
user base.
And is that working well for you guys for right now?
I couldn't understand that.
Okay. I'm sorry. Is that process working well for you?
My phone, or I don't know.
I think maybe it's your phone. Can you put it on mute? Okay.
Esther?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Okay.
Dennis,
Yeah.
the quality is very bad.
Yeah, I think every time I apologize. I don't know why, but every time I'm trying to talk to Denise, I think the phone just doesn't want me to talk to her. I don't know. I feel bad. So I apologize, but I barely heard you, but I think I got from that. I think I got that you can log in using your own username and password, and then you can go into the global surveys to review the data. And so right now it's working. If you guys have other questions, I mean, it looks like it's fine for now, but I just want to make sure, if that's what you guys want, if you guys need to set it up in a different way, let me know, and I'll be able to work something out. But I think that's pretty much all I have for right now. Is there any other questions? Or we can go ahead and conclude our training for today.
I have one question. I have created one survey in the account from Andreas, and I'm not sure. I'm right. I can share this survey with my account now, or is this? Do you know how, Andreas? Do you know how I can share this survey
I don't
with
know.
my account?
Oh, okay. Well,
can we move surveys from one account to another one?
not manually. I can only move. I'm the only one who can move the survey and the data for you. So what you would need to do
Okay.
is email me and let me know what folder what email is the account, what folder it is in, and the name of the survey, and then who to move it to, and then I can move it. So what I can do here is, let me go ahead and pull up Swisscom. I'm gonna just log into your account. So you created the account under Andreas, is that correct? And you want to
Yeah.
share it with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna log in, if that's okay with you. I'm gonna log into your account, and what's the name of your survey you created?
It's the first. You have to go to the first survey.
What is it called? Okay, should be up here.
Yeah, go to number. Yeah.
Is it this one?
The first and the second.
These two?
Yes, this one and the second two.
Okay. Alright. So what I'm doing here is I'm clicking on settings, and this basically shows that everyone has access to go in and review, edit, and copy the report, and look at reports. So you should be able to log in. Which one is your account? Is it this one or this one?
No, Carl Thomas, yes, this one.
Okay, so let me go ahead and go back and see if it's in there. Just 1 second. It should be in there. So once it's been established that you can see everything in the folder, you should be able to see it. So we can just take a quick peek and make sure it's in there. Okay. Oops, actually. I'm gonna log in. Okay, so it's not under your main and default folder. It will be under your, not yours, but his. So.
Okay.
So here it is.
Okay.
Do you see it?
It's clear.
Yeah. And so yeah, that is where.
Okay. Yeah. So I can see and make changes
yes.
on the survey here.
Yeah. So you can go in. You can collaborate as well. So no problem with that.
Okay. Thank you. It's clear.
Okay. Any other questions? Are we good for today?
I think it's fine. It was great, Esther. Thank you a lot for your time.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I've been, very happy to help you. And also with our, I know that we have Amia. He is your account manager. If you have any questions, he is available for you. Starting, he usually gets in like at 1:30 a.m. Pacific time, which actually is in about an hour and a half from your time. Well, no, not an hour and a half, but it'll be an hour and a half from now. He'll be available, so if you guys have questions during your time, and I'm not available because I work from 8 a.m., so I'll be there, at starting after 4 p.m., which isn't always good, but he covers me until I get in. So if you guys have any questions, he'll be the one to answer any questions that you might have, about your studies right away. So that would be really helpful. And I'll send you his contact information again, and he's very, very helpful. And he's going to actually move to the Australian time zone, so I'll have another guy that will cover his time zone here in about a couple weeks. So, instead of having to wait a whole day to get an answer from me, you'll have someone who can answer you right away. Okay? Alright, so I think we are good to go.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody, for your time. And I'll go ahead